So again, I'm sorry, I don't know why this split into two videos, but we're going to finish the notes starting at 6. So again, just like the theorem 10.7 says, when you have a diameter of a circle and it is perpendicular to a chord, so they intersect to form 90, it cuts the arc and the chord in half. So that means the two pieces of the chord are going to be congruent. So we're going to set them equal. So 2x plus 1 will equal 3x minus 5. We always move the smallest x, which here would be 2x. So 1 equals x minus 5. Last step to get x by itself, we have to move the minus 5. So do the opposite, so plus 5. 6 will equal x. And then the last section. So number 1, it says if the measure of arc AB, AB is 110, I think it said, 110 degrees, find the measure of arc BC. So each of these arcs are made up by chords. Because the chords are congruent, they're both 9 and 9, that means the arcs will also be congruent. So because AB is 110, that means BC will also be 110 degrees. Alright, and this next one, you would see on like a quiz or a test, it is harder. So let's look. We say that the measure of arc AC is 150 degrees. Find the measure of arc AB. We could call this X. So, what I know about the arcs of a circle is they all add up to 360, but right now we only have 150, and then we have X. So we need to label what BC is going to be, but just like the last problem, I know that, and just to pause, this is a new problem. So we're just using the same picture, so it's not going to be 110 necessarily. So new problem, same picture, if that makes sense. So this number and this number are not carried over into this new problem. So anyways, find the measure of AB. So again, we need to label BC, but just like in the previous problem, we know that they're going to be the same. So if we call AB X, Zoe, sorry, what was I saying? So because we know that they are the same measure, because we know AB, we're calling it X, it's the same measure as BC, we could also call it X. So then we know the arcs of a circle all combined add up to 360. So we could say 150 plus X, which would make 2X, so plus 2X, will equal 360 degrees. So we're going to subtract 150. So 2X will equal 210. Divide by 2. X will equal 105. So the measure of AB would be 105, and BC is also 105. You can check by adding them up and then making sure they equal 360. But the measure of arc AB is 5 degrees. We're not going to the beach today, honey. Okay, and then the last question. So we're given a new picture, and then find the indicated length or arc measure. So we're going to find the length of CE. CE is a chord. We know that this chord and the diameter are perpendicular, so that means the chord is cut into two perfect halves. So if this top half is 5, Zoe, I'm sorry guys, I may or may not be hiding from my daughter. So, we know this top half is 5, So that means the bottom half will also be 5. We want to find the measure of, or the length of CE. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So the length of CE is 10. Then we want to find the measure of an arc. So again, because the chord and the diameter are perpendicular, that means the arcs that are created are congruent. So we're going to set them equal. 9x will equal 80 minus x. We're going to move the smaller x, which here would be x, negative x. 9x plus x makes 10x, and that equals 80. Divide by 10, and x equals 8. It did not ask me to find x, it asked me to find a measure. So we need to plug it in to CE, okay? So currently the measure of, well, we're not going to plug it into CE. We're going to plug it into the two pieces of CE. This is arc CE. So we'll plug it in to this top portion. 9 times, what do we say, 8, which is 72. And then plug it in here as well. 8 minus 8, which is also 72. Then we add them together. 72 plus 72. Add them together, and we get 144 degrees. All right, that's it for 10.3. Thank you for bearing with me, and I'm sorry for the interruptions in this last few minutes.